Innovation is sort of the air, water, and food.
Started out with a small group of managers going for an offsite, trying to innovate, became like a site-wide innovation program.
What initially began is just like a few pointers on the PPT. Using the wizard tag, you can do the blend with the cross-tag.
If you are thinking very narrowly about, hey, let me go do this and miss the bigger picture, then the idea kind of loses its value.
In our journey of 13 years of Wizards, we've implemented more than 75 ideas.
Ideas can come from anywhere, from anyone.
Our industry doesn't respect the tradition, it only respects the innovation.
Wizards, we started this 13 years ago in the India office as a very local program which was called as Idea Jam. The intent was to bring our employees together where they can collaborate and co-create something which would help us to contribute to the top line of Akamai. And we were so lucky that that year Tom Leighton was in Bangalore. He witnessed the program and he liked it so much that he asked us to make this a global program. Since then, we actually started this program at a global scale.
At Akamai, innovation isn't a department, it's our DNA. Wizards is the platform that turns this belief into action.
Innovation is sort of the air, water, and food. It's essential for our life, it's essential for our growth. And in many ways, I think of Wizards as a manifestation of one of our core principles, which is that ideas can come from anywhere, from anyone.
Started out with a small group of managers going for an offsite, trying to innovate, make some change in their, day-to-day kind of work. From there, it became like a site-wide innovation program. And when it got into the eyes, into the vision of the CEO, it became a global program. And it's been global now for over a decade.
But Wizards is more than history. It's a living process that makes space for every voice ideators, mentors, and leaders.
It's a 12-month journey. We start with an idea generation which goes for 3 to 4 months, where our employees go through ideation phase, through design thinking workshops, through Wiz Talk, which is a talk that's given by our leaders, explains them about what's the roadmap of a particular business function, what are some of the challenges they are facing, what are our customers talking about Akamai, and what are they looking for future in Akamai. Based upon that, the employees are encouraged to ideate in a particular fashion.
The real magic of Wizards lies not just in the structure, but in the journeys of its people.
What initially began is just like a few pointers on the PPT. But if you ask me, Wizard is a platform which, using that wizard tag, you can do the blend with the cross-team. So I started with different teams where my solution will actually fit into different ecosystem. I understood their PMs, their requirements, understood the ecosystem. The wizard tags actually help you to do all this kind of stuff, to check with the cross teams, and they are happy to answer.
We select the top 20 or top 30 ideas from the 500 ideas, generally 500 ideas that we get throughout the year. Those 20 ideas go through the presentation round, and we have reviewers from different business unit who sits through the presentation and provide their feedback. From the 20 ideas, the scoring happens, the review happens, the subject matter experts, they provide their feedback, and then we choose the top 8 ideas. These top ideators are the finalists who then presents to our CEO, Tom Leighton. Along with Tom Leighton is the operating committee that sits through, and they give the presentation, and that's when the top 3 ideas for the year are selected to go through the implementation.
The wizard starts with like 5 minutes of presentation, and then later on goes to around 20 minutes of presentation. So you have to refine your pitch in a better way so that it could be at executive levels. And the finale was a cherry on the top where you have to present to the executives.
Behind every winning idea stands guidance, mentors, and reviewers who help transform raw concepts into reality.
What I found basically is many times people have an idea they can do well, do better, is looking at that idea from few additional lens. One is it adding strategic value for Akamai? In the sense, is it fixing a product gap, enhancing a product that we already have that now can do a lot better in the market space? If you are thinking very narrowly about, hey, let me go do this and miss the bigger picture, then the idea kind of loses its value, right? So basically, first thing I look at it when I see these ideas, what is the strategic value that this idea is going to add? It could be product, it could be people, it could be bottom line, top line growth, any of these things.
For leaders, Wizards is more than a program. It is culture in action, the way Akamai prepares for tomorrow.
Being self-solutions engineer, I'm actually in the forefront, in the fourth seat, discussions with our customers. And that gives me literally the unique perspective into what our customers need, what are the biggest pains that they're experiencing, challenges, and understanding their needs. This is what gave idea to me and my co-creator, actually back then, to come up with this suggestion, which later helped to create a new product, which back then was called Page Integrity Manager, or PIM for short. That idea was pitched to Tom and the rest of the panel at the finals presentation in our headquarters in Cambridge. It helped to create the product, which became a success. So right now we're still offering it and developing it. Today it's called CPC, and a successful product, as I just said.
In our journey of 13 years of Wizards, we've implemented more than 75 ideas. Some of the top ideas that comes to my mind is Contact++. It's an AI-powered contact management system which allows our employees to scan through the contacts of employees very easily. Such an amazing tool that was built internally, and the idea came through Wizards.
Each journey is unique, but together they reflect the same spirit: curiosity, courage, and commitment.
The inspiration came from Chaiwala. So Chaiwala thing is what? You can go anywhere in India, any street, tap on, tea comes, tap off. Can we have similar way data available to them? Can we make data available to people? And those days it made a lot of sense because data was very, very expensive.
Well, first and foremost, the idea that won the Wizards, I think that we took third place back then in the product which Akamai now has as part of its application security portfolio. Once we started offering that product, so we expected a certain revenue, but it was, in fact, we actually got twice. So, which was just a testament for the relevance of that idea, that the efforts, time, and the resources were well spent.
Ideas from Wizards don't stay on paper. They save costs, launch services, and change how Akamai works.
Being a software engineer isn't just a job. It's actually very, very, very rewarding professions that empower us to shape the future. And I think the Wizards are a fantastic event where you can break the hierarchical barriers and take the lead in driving the innovation and build a prototype that might become Akamai's next great product. There's one famous word about our industry doesn't respect the tradition, it only respects the innovation. Keep pushing the boundary and shape the better world through the creativity and forward thinking.
We accommodate a broad set of innovations. There are small challenges that are run around a particular theme, right? It could be efficiency of a function, it could be some product line related ideas. So that is one way to look at it. But then we also have very broad ideas that people bring, and this goes up to the CEO and leadership team, right, at the end of the year. And I also have seen innovators of different kinds. There are repeat innovators who keep coming every year with a new look at things. There are fresh innovators who may be actually new in the company, but they bring a lot of change into the company. So we've really seen a broad set, and that's what makes it, I would say, really amazing.
As the leader of this program, I would like to see this program scale to a level where ideas are not just getting collected in our platform, they are actually executed, they are scalable, and they reach to a point where they're contributing towards the top line success of Akamai.
It's a nightclub for ideas, a place where ideas from diverse perspectives can come together and create innovation.
Wizards is proof that innovation can come from anyone, anywhere. And when nurtured, it can change everything. This is how Akamai builds its future, one idea at a time.